Grand Rising, everybody. How you doing? It's none other than your girl, the Hidden Lovr, and I'm coming to you at a different time, at a Grand Rising live Goddess Thoughts. And this one's not going to be too long because it's not my typical podcast, but I wanted to come on this week because this is the holiday week, and I wanted to talk about a few things. So hopefully a few of you early birds are up, man. You might want to come in and comment, or definitely join me and tap in this morning, or watch it on the replay. You can definitely always catch every Goddess Thoughts replay podcast on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, the Hidden Lovr Incorporated, Hidden Lovr Inc. channel. And I am, of course, your girl. I think I wanted to talk about today to start off, because this is about reflection and presence. And I feel like this time of year, reflection and presence is very important. You know, a lot of people go through a lot in the holiday times. People go through depression, isolation, loneliness. People go through different things, happiness. People go through the pressure of having to buy things, the pressure of being around family or not being around family and not able to get to them, different things of that nature. And, you know, I wanted to start with reflection because that's a lot of what I do constantly, because I feel like for me to grow and for me to constantly keep achieving finding the highest version of myself, the best version of myself, I have to reflect to take accountability. Thank you. I have to reflect to take accountability, first of all, you know. And one of the things that I like to do when I do that is face my emotions. And that was one of the hardest things, I think, in life that I really had to really take a hold of coming into my 40s, is growing up and growing emotionally, becoming emotionally more intelligent and facing my emotions, you know, learning to feel them, to live in them, to experience them, and so that I can reflect on them. Because some emotions, you know, we bottle these things up and we block them away and we think they're gone. And they're really not gone. They're just locked away in a box, which is really kind of like Pandora's box, because one day that box is going to open, and you know, who knows what all may fly out that box that day when that opens. So, you know, one of the things I practice in my life right now is whenever I'm going through something, I give myself 24 to 48 hours to feel, to live in it, to experience it, you know, to go through whatever I need to go through so I can, you know, process it. If that means I need to be mad, if I need to be withdrawn, if I need to cry, whatever I need to do. And I give myself that time. That way I can experience it, process it, and let it go. You know, instead of just being like, I'm good, or I'm going to channel everything into work. Yeah, you can take those emotions. You can take all those different things we go through, all the trauma and the different BS we go through, and channel it into the other things. But all that usually ends up leading to is either burnout, possibly depression. It could lead to anxiety, or it could lead to a blow up. You know, it could lead to so many different things that are unhealthy. And the biggest thing, you know, is mental health, you know, and spiritual health, emotional health. All those things are just as important as our physical health. You know, it's all a part of taking care of ourselves and loving ourselves and caring for ourselves, you know. You know, there are a lot of times, you know, people talk about self-love. And, you know, I think sometimes we think about self-love, we're thinking about, you know, the physical care of, you know, maybe resting or making sure our hair and nails done, or, you know, going to the gym, working out, whatever it may be, making sure your clothes. But, you know, are you making sure your emotional health, that's part of self-care and self-love, and your mental, you know, your spiritual, all those things are part of loving yourself and caring for yourself, because, you know, we are 4 dimensions, not just one, you know. And also kind of getting into presence. You know, I do like to say, you know, I live in the present. You know, the past is behind us, but we always meant to learn from the past, and the future is undetermined because it's in front of us. Thank you. But we're also preparing for the future. But the biggest thing is we must live in the present. You know, we must experience the present, be grateful for the present, and appreciate the present. And that's what I do every day. You know, I've learned to, even when I'm sad and upset or down, I've learned to find I'm so glad you needed to hear that, Crystal. I'm glad, because I don't know why I got up this morning, but some told me to get up this morning and jump on. So I'm glad you needed to hear that. Most definitely. That's why I do what I do. I love what I do, just getting up, talking, and communicating with people. But I completely forgot what I was talking about. I know I was saying living in the presence. Even though sometimes I may get down, I may get sad, but I've still found a way to find peace and still smile. And it's not a fake smile, and it's not always just a smiling through a pain. It's because I know at some point I'm going to realize the lesson I learned. At some point I'm going to understand why I had to go through what I went through, and knowing that gives me the relief because in the grace on myself, and also to know that there's a rainbow after every storm, and that's the most precious thing that I've gotten as I've walked my spiritual journey and became closer with the Most High, and understanding and learning from all things, not just what I was raised in Christianity, going into all things and going deeper into esoteric, into different religions, and understanding the underlying factors of love and authenticity and accountability and presence, and just being truly and authentically who we are, and living in that, and appreciating that, and understanding that. And I'm not going to stay on too much longer because honestly, I forgot to charge my phone, but I just wanted to give another one because this is more so for me, and why I jumped on this too this morning is going into 2026 consistency, and not letting things around you distract you from where you need to go, which is also coming back to remaining in the present of where you need to be and where you need to walk to. Because a friend of mine got on me and was like, stop letting what other people have going on stop you from doing what you're doing. And and so I started letting the fact that I didn't have different things to be able to podcast, and changing locations and different things, but I decided this morning there's no excuse. Just get up and do it. It's just about walking. My last name is Walker, so I'm about walking. So it just was about being consistent and getting up this morning and getting on here and doing what I needed to do to not only show myself and hold myself accountable, because I have goals and I know what I'm meant to do, and I know what I'm called to do, and that's speak and share my story. It's not always about talking about different things, the topics. Sometimes it's just about me speaking and talking about what's going on. That's why this is Goddess Thoughts, and the Goddess is here to share my thoughts this morning. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and round it out. I want to thank you so much for tuning in another Goddess Thoughts, and I will be live again Tuesday as we get in and preparing for the new year. Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Goddess Thoughts. Thank you, Miss Crystal, for tuning in. I'm glad you needed to hear what I had to say. As I always say, love and light. Man, y'all have a beautiful, beautiful holiday weekend. The light, it is beautiful out. I walk every morning. Y'all go out and get you some sun. Love you. Yes, ma'am.